Back to the Raul Valle case. Today we are going to get the cross-examination of the first EMT responder on scene who helped Jimmy McGrath, Michael Egan. Let's go, folks. You must follow the law. The law says...
Glorious. Is it a lawsuit? Probably. Why not?
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with attorney Larry Forman. Folks, today we've covered already the direct examination of EMT Michael Egan, who arrived on scene first after Officer Lonnie Blackwell. Today, we are going to cover the cross-examination of this officer in this murder case of a bunch of teenagers getting into it as a result of some meaningless, nonsensical, as it appears to be, high school rivalry that escalated into a weaponized brawl, leaving one dead and 3 injured, and one person, Raul Valle, on trial fighting for his life, metaphorically speaking. Now, I've already alluded to this, it's no secret, that he gets acquitted of this. But why? And the prosecution is still pursuing charges as Raul looks for a new attorney to replace his old one. We surely don't know the reason for that just yet, but hopefully we will find out in due course. He is due back in court on November 17th, 2025. So if you're watching in the future, maybe we've already covered the second trial. But if you are watching it in the present time, of course, it has not happened yet. His new trial will probably happen in 2026. So without further ado, let's do the cross-examination of EMT Michael Egan. I really like this lawyer. Let's see what kind of questions he has prepared for this guy.
Good morning, Howard.
Good morning, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Good. You talk a little quick, Mr.
I'm
Egan.
sorry. Yeah, I tend to do that.
So I'm going to maybe ask you to just slow down a little bit
I'll do
for
my
us. I
best.
just want to go over things, okay?
Sure.
I love how he says, I'm going to do my best as he talks over him, and he still talks fast. But okay, I mean, whatever. Egan is just a little hyper for our taste. It's okay. We can deal with it.
You used a term right there at the end, which I was unfamiliar with. Maybe the jurors are unfamiliar with as well. You said after you took the stretcher out and went back to decontaminate.
Decontaminate.
Oh,
Yep.
gotcha. Decontaminate. Thank you.
Decontaminating probably the ambulance, right? Because he had a person who was bleeding profusely. Probably there's bacteria, blood, etc. in the back there, so that has to be cleaned up before they go out on their next run for their next patient. Logical. And by the way, if you need a lawyer, call our office. If you've been in an accident or suffered as a result of someone else's negligence, car wreck, truck wreck, motorcycle wreck, doctor negligence, or God forbid one of your loved ones passed away. 1-844-774-HURT.
You were telling us, Mr. Egan, that you arrived on scene and it was chaotic, correct?
Yes.
In fact, you said people were screaming, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yelling obscenities, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, yelling obscenities at you and your crew member, Ms.
Yep.
Kaiser, correct?
Yeah, it happens frequently.
You said that the crowd was difficult to part to get to the patients.
Mhm.
Ultimately, however, you did get to the patients.
We
correct?
did.
And you said one of the patients was standing and able to talk.
I didn't write that in there. I believe Sophia might have written a addendum after she went and triaged, but I did not encounter any standing patients.
You didn't encounter any standing patients. You
No.
encountered one person who was laying down on the grass, correct?
Yes.
And then you rendered some...
Okay, so he beelined directly to Jimmy, whereas his colleague tended to some of the other people who were also in need of medical assistance, but maybe not as dire as Jimmy because he's the only one, obviously, that passed away.
aid to the person that you indicated or believed was the most in need of your care. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, he was the first one he came across. So we do a rapid scan. And then, after we did the rapid scan, applied that chest seal, my partner moved on to assess the rest of them. And then I began working doing the AED CPR.
Any indication that these yelling, screaming folks had been drinking?
I did not witness any alcohol, so I can't comment on that.
Did you feel threatened at all?
I didn't feel threatened, no. I didn't feel the obscenities were being yelled at us in a violent method. It was more like, hurry the blank up, he's blanking dying, things like that.
Okay. And yet they were still difficult to part for you to get to the patients?
Yeah, because it was very chaotic. So people tend to, situations like this, people tend to move in on the patients. You have to be like, hey, excuse me, move out of the way, give us some room.
You mentioned that you parked up to the right of where that red bush is on the exhibit that you were shown. There were cars parked along the roadway?
I can't remember if there were cars parked like directly in front of the house or where they were, to be honest.
Do you recall whether or not there were cars parked in the driveway?
I do not recall, no.
You were solely focused on trying to get to the patients?
Yes. Yep.
And when you got to this patient that you have described to us rendering a lot of aid to, you noticed that there was a puncture wound to the left lower chest, correct?
Yeah, left lower chest or upper abdomen, right in that area.
That was the only wound that you saw on this individual that you were treating?
That's the only one I observed at that time, yes.
And you described that it was rather dark in the area, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said that an officer may have been providing some light to you.
I remember there being a flashlight at one point, but it wasn't consistent the entire time.
You also had a light you described to us that was on your vehicle itself, correct?
The scene lights, yeah.
The scene lights.
Yep.
Those, however, didn't provide a ton of light. Is that fair to say?
No, yeah, it's not adequate by any means to completely light the scene up, no.
Gotcha. And this night was also rainy and misty, was it not?
I don't remember the weather, to be honest with you.
Do you recall whether or not the grass was wet where you were?
I do not.
Do you recall, you said you were the driver, correct?
I was, yep.
Do you recall whether or not?
Granted, it has been like over 3 years since the incident, so it's very possible and very likely that he wouldn't remember. But like here, I don't know. I feel like I would remember something like that. But then again, he does this for a living, so to him, another potential, future dead body or someone he's gonna save, to him, it's just another Tuesday or whatever, another Friday. You know what I mean? Whew, it's rough. But like I said, you get desensitized after you do this enough. You can clearly tell from his demeanor he's done this a lot. He's done this for a very long time, and it seems like he likes his job, Egan.
You had your wipers on as you were driving to the scene?
I don't recall.
Yeah.
And then you described for us rendering aid. At some point you were joined by Jeff McKee, correct?
Yes.
You handed off to him. Did he stay in the vehicle with you as you drove to Bridgeport Hospital?
Like, did he stay in the ambulance with us?
Yes.
Yeah, he was in the back working on the patient.
So in this vehicle was you, the patient, Ms. Kaiser, and Mr. McKee, correct?
Yes.
And sir, you've been called here today to tell us what you witnessed when you responded to the scene.
Yes.
You've done that to the best of your ability.
Yes, sir.
But if what these jurors are interested in is why Mr. Valle did what he did that night, you can't really be of any help to these jurors.
No, sir.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you.
Oh, I love
Thank
that.
you. Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Did you say no?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so you may step down.
Thank you.
Please watch your step.
All right. So I see that this is the attorney's strategy. Every single witness, because he's already done it with Blackwell, now he did it with Egan. And actually, McKee, Egan's partner, is up next. I suspect we're going to hear the exact same thing from him. And the reason I say that is because it's becoming a trend. We're 2 for 2 on the witnesses, right? Because we had no opening statements. Like I said, Connecticut is unique in this regard that they don't allow opening statements in criminal cases. I've never seen that before in my life. Apparently, Connecticut and Delaware are 2 states where you just don't have opening statements in criminal cases. That's the law in those jurisdictions. This is Connecticut, so we don't have an opening statement. And as you've noticed, both Blackwell and Egan got asked the same question, the last question by Mr. Smith, Mr. Valle's attorney. He asked, you don't know, and you cannot tell these ladies and gentlemen of the jury why Mr. Valle did what he did. No, I cannot, because that's what the jurors are really interested in. He kind of snuck that in. I'm like, oh yes, that's exactly what they're interested in. That's what we are interested in. Why did Mr. Valle did what he did? And I guess time will tell. Time will shed some light on this information and on this case for us. So I'm looking forward to continuing it with Mr. McKee, Jeffrey McKee. He's the other EMT. He's up next. I hope you all learned something. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.